Hey everybody, welcome back. HSC Podcast 118. Big Buck Steve on the mic, Big Smooth and Fresh Wes. Sporting the Duck shirt. Honor of college football starting. So tonight's topics, it's all football all the
You just
time.
stop, dude. Kirk Herbstreit predicted the Ducks are going to win the national
I
championship.
know, I saw that.
I think that's a lot of pressure. I think that's
crazy.
a lot of noise. Trust me.
Um,
I like the Ducks, but come on, dude.
yeah, I don't know that they're ready to compete with the SEC.
Yeah.
Let's kind of be realistic a little bit.
Let's be realistic. Exactly.
Yeah, well, we could just say this. Only Sheamus from the WWE predicted Georgia Tech to beat Florida State out of all their people.
Tell me that wasn't a badass game.
That was great.
A good game.
That was great.
Like King, like, dude, that was a good game.
I was watching a pretty good breakdown of that game today, and Georgia Tech kind of dominated them.
Yeah.
They did. Dude, they ran all over them.
Right.
And I love their coach. Their coach is like, dude, I'm an O-line coach.
Yep.
I know how it is. Like, they abused Florida State.
They had a lot of good blocking schemes from their line, which obviously, their coach is putting in place.
Yeah. He's a good coach.
Pulling guards and trapping, and yeah, it was nice game plan.
Yeah.
So yeah, tonight all football all the time. Here we go, starting the NFL season. And NCAA started. But yeah, so tonight we're gonna focus on our yearly picks. So we're gonna talk about division winners, playoff, who's gonna make the playoffs, and our Super Bowl picks, and then break down each division.
Dude,
and I got a trivia for you.
Oh man, dude, Wes, last week, dude, I needed you for the trivia, man. I was failing big time.
What?
I failed trivia last week, dude, and it was an easy one too. When I look back at it, it was all-time receiving yards.
No, I don't know that stuff, dude.
I mean, you would know.
I don't know it.
All-time receiving yards? Come on.
For who?
For wide receivers, NFL.
Why? Dude, I don't know.
Well, I mean, obviously Rice is first, right?
Well, I don't know. Is he?
Like 5,000 yards more.
Yeah, he's got.
Wait a minute. Rice has that many yards more.
Jerry Rice?
Yeah, 22,000, right? Or something like that. 24, 22, 24.
Yeah, let me look back at my. Because what did we say that one thing I said? Justin Jefferson has to play for like 24 years or something, and
get 1,000 yards every season.
It's not even fair.
Yeah, it was surprisingly tough. Like, and I look back at it after I ended up, getting the hints and getting the answers. I was like, I should have known those.
Yeah.
Number 2 killed me.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it took me that long to get. That was the last one I got. Like, who number 2 overall? I was like, really?
Yeah, Jerry Rice has 5,000 more yards than number 2. And that's Larry Fitzgerald.
Rice.
Yeah.
He does that much?
Yeah.
Wild.
That's probably a record I don't think he'll be beaten.
Did you guys watch his son play with the Chargers?
Well, he made the team, didn't he?
Yeah,
Did
he
you
made the
even
team.
watch the Chargers game? That was insane. Like Lance getting picked off 4 times.
5 times.
5 times.
Dude.
I saw that first one. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? It's a 10-yard out. How do you get picked on a 10-yard out?
You can't play a worse game than Trey Lance played. Because he had 2 fumbles, too.
It was so bad. I wanted to text you guys. I was like, that maybe that's inappropriate. I was like, what are you doing, dude?
That might have been the worst game played I've ever seen by a quarterback.
Dude, the best is, Dak was just seeing dollar signs that entire.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm getting paid.
You know what I heard? The conspiracy theories. They said that he did that on purpose so Dak can get his money.
Maybe Dak gave him. Dak's under the table, bro.
In my mouth when I heard that, I was like, "Are you guys that pathetic?" Like, so, really,
Hey, dude, Dak. Maybe we better check Dak's Cash App, dude. Is he Cash Apping Trey Lance every week? He's like, hey, here's another 1,200.
I hope they No, I hope the Cowboys like go 8-9 and just barely miss the play. I don't want them to do that bad. I want them to be on the cusp of and just implode. Like, how can you be that bad?
Well, I guess, you got CeeDee Lamb still, so if he plays.
Dude, he's not Jamar Chase, dude. He's none of these guys, dude. He's a nice receiver, but he is not a dude that's gonna break the game open. He's not.
Yeah, I mean, he's Derek's relying on him in his fantasy league.
He's gonna get good stats, but he's not. He's not gonna get them to the Super Bowl. You know who's gonna get them? You know who's gonna get him in the Super Bowl? Deuce Vaughn. Have you seen him play?
Not Ezekiel Elliott. Come on.
No. Well, they're gonna sign. Derek's gonna say it.
The greatest pass catching halfback in NFL history.
In NFL history. Oh, I love it. All right, let's get into this.
Dude, Deuce Vaughn is gonna be their savior.
Let's get into this trivia. What do you got for us, Derek?
Okay. It's only 5. In NFL history, there's been only 5 defensive tackles that have had over 100 career sacks. Who are those 5?
Ooh, defensive tackles. Over Warren Sapp?
Nope.
Not Warren Sapp. How old are these?
Well, they did like a thing, so sacks didn't come official till 81.
Right, 80, yeah, 81,
but
82.
Some guys went back and actually figured it out. So 3 are from 2 are definitely the 70s. 1 is 70s with some 80s. 1 is like 90s, 2000s, and 1 is recent.
So these are definitely older.
Yeah.
3 older. So maybe like Joe Green.
Nope.
Jeez, that's a tough one. What's the guy? So of course Wes leaves.
Yeah, so Sapp had 96.5. So
oh man, I thought he'd be there. One of them's a newer one.
Yeah.
Oh, Aaron Donald.
Yes, he's number 3.
Yeah, so Aaron Donald,
111.
And then one you said was 2000s.
Yeah. 90s, 2000.
90s and 2000s.
Yeah.
What's a mess? Okay, I'll put some here. There's no mess.
What is he doing?
Oh, but it's staying.
We'll mute them for a second.
Yeah, one is actually number 1 and number 2 are from the same team and just different eras.
But those are older, or one's the newer one.
One's the newer one.
Oh, are they Steelers?
Nope.
Oh, man, are they Rams?
Nope.
No, because Rams would be
Donald.
Yeah, jeez, man, this is a tough one, dude. I don't think I can get the older ones. Well, let me see. So 90s, 2000s, defensive tackle.
One had a 80s TV sitcom.
Oh man. What's that guy's name? Dan Dierdorf?
No.
I don't know, dude.
Okay,
I'm
the sitcom was Webster.
I know I can't remember his name. I can see
Oh.
his face.
Alex Karras.
Karras.
Yeah, he had 100 sacks. He was the
Right.
fifth. Uh, tied with Donald with 111. He played for the Cowboys in like the 70s, 80s.
Not Too Tall Jones, was it?
No.
Because he's a defensive end.
Yeah, but he played with Too Tall Jones.
Yeah. No, I never got that one.
That's Randy White.
Oh, well, I mean, that makes sense.
And then the last two, once I tell you the team, you should be able to get it. The Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's them. I just can't think of their names.
One wore face paint. Come on,
No,
Steve. These are your rivals.
I know. You gotta give it to me. What is it?
Okay, number two with 137.5 sacks, John Randall.
Yeah.
And number one with 148.5 sacks, Alan Page.
Yeah, I should have got actually John Randall. Yeah, if I would have had the team, yeah, I could have got John Randall. But Alan Page, I couldn't remember his name.
Purple People Eaters. That was
Hmm.
they had him and Marshall were both
Right,
because I
Marshall. That's who I was thinking of. But
had
he
them
was a
do the
defensive end.
list because there's tons of DNs and stuff. So I could
Right.
only find 4 or 5 D tackles that were primary D tackles. I put on there, I'm like, top Googled the top defensive tackles, and then like Bruce Smith comes up, and I'm like, no, 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 no.
Yeah, yeah.
Bruce Smith is not a
He's
defensive
definitely
tackle.
a defensive end.
Yeah. Reggie White, no, he's a defensive end.
Right, right. That was a tough one, man. It wasn't, but it was because it's really hard to remember, those especially Karras and Page.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I'm surprised Warren Sapp didn't make it.
Yeah, he was close, 4 sacks
Yeah,
away.
4 sacks away. All right, well let's jump into some NFL stuff here. We're gonna talk about division winners, playoffs, Super Bowl, but just kind of talking about how the preseason finished up here. Teams had to cut down to their 53-man rosters, so we kind of want to hit that. What, if any, as you look at these, because I didn't see a whole lot. Like, what are some of the surprises here as far as cuts, trades, just kind of teams finishing out their rosters here?
Yeah, I didn't really see much of anything really like that was notable. Um, because some of them you had the rumblings, like like Kadarius Toney was going to probably be gone, and um, I just love keep getting things about former Raiders first round pick was cut, and I'm like,
Right.
yeah, that was,
Jonathan Abrams, right? He
and Alex Leatherwood,
yeah.
yeah,
I was surprised Miami cut Mike White, but that's because Skylar Thompson, he's just not good. I don't I'd rather have Mike White, but that one was a bit of a surprise to me. But apparently Mike, the crazy mad scientist, believes that he knows the offense better.
right. The funny one is the Browns kept 4 quarterbacks,
Yeah, they're gonna need it.
but I think it's weird. They have all these things like the Raiders have 7 linebackers. They're waiting to figure out what who got cut and who they can get.
Right, right, right.
Bears let go of the great Brett Rippon, but a lot of teams went with just 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the thinking there is you could have one on your practice squad, right?
Right.
Where it's like Mike White, for example. I think Buffalo picked him up on their practice squad already.
Yeah. Because he didn't have to go through waivers because of his years in the league. He was just right out cut. So he could sign with any team right away. He doesn't have to go through waivers.
Yeah. Oh, Wes is back. Here, you got to unmute there, Wes. There you go. So we're talking about cuts. Looking at the list, I mean, there's not a lot of surprise cuts. I guess the Malik Willis trade, that was kind of big.
There was a thing out there. It was Will Levis transferred because he lost, or Clifford won the job where he was at. So Levis transferred. And Levis gets drafted by the Titans, and Malik Willis loses his job. Willis gets traded to the Packers, and Clifford loses his job. So it's
It's full circle right there.
yeah.
So what about I guess the other one is you look at the 49ers, they're still out, they're still kind of in the dark around Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk.
Right. Let me check the Niners here.
How much does that hurt them starting the season?
Well, and also Pearsall's hurt, right?
Yeah.
So
I think they knew he was hurt, right? Because he's had that shoulder injury.
yeah. I don't think they thought it was gonna continue though.
Right.
They got rid of Breida. But yeah, then Elijah Mitchell's on the IR for the whole season.
Yeah, it's weird because he can't come off the IR. They have to like release him.
Well, he's just on the IR. He'll be there the whole season. So there's one player, I can't remember his name. It's a tight end, I think. Who they put on IR, and it's like 2 years now. Oh, I can't think of it.
Texans released Noah Brown. That was kind of big.
Yeah, that sucks for my fantasy team, but I kind of expected that one because if you look, it's like you got Diggs, you got Nico Collins, you got Tank Dell, you got Mechie.
Right.
You have no room for him on that team. Because once you get past like the 4th receiver, then they have to be good at special teams too.
Yeah. So
He'll
not
get
a lot
back
of
up
big
soon.
trades, not a lot of big cuts. I don't think
Big production, man. No. Last 6 months, all we hear about is Dak Prescott and Aaron Rodgers and contracts and all this crap, dude.
right.
Like, it's a big production.
Oh, here's the
Well,
big
now
one.
you get to see if it pays off.
This one's really going to crush Wes here.
Dude.
The Commanders released Sam Hartman.
Oh.
I'm torn. Maybe the Raiders will pick him up and actually have a decent quarterback.
Yeah, the Raiders
They suck.
it's gonna be tough, but Take Uncle Rico, dude.
Oh yeah, he's a great quarterback.
I like him.
I like him to do 6 and what 11.
Well, let's get into our picks. Let's talk about what. Let's start with the AFC. So we'll just start at the top. AFC East. You got Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, Bills. I'll lead off here. Might be a surprise. I have the Jets winning this division. Now, obviously, that Aaron Rodgers has to stay healthy because if he's not healthy, then they're in trouble. But they have the defense. They've got, and then of course, Mike Williams has to stay healthy. You need him, but you still have Wilson. Pretty good roster, good running backs. Aaron Rodgers, and it's their defense that holds them up. And it's kind of this is not the strongest division. So I'm going to take the Jets here. So I got the Jets in the AFC East. Pretty closely. I think the Dolphins can compete with them, but I'm going with the Jets. What do you got, Derek?
We're talking regular season. Why don't fix what, don't, you got to just, it's the Bills. Even if they lose and Diggs and, they lost Davis, who cares? It's still got Josh Allen. They are the ones that keep winning the Jets. What? Jets have won the division twice in their lifetime. So come on. I don't trust the Jets. Someone's going to get hurt. Something's going to happen. They're the team that's always what could have been, what if.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the Bills are Super Bowl contenders. I just say they'll win that division.
Yeah.
What do you got, Wes?
You're both kind of right in a sense, but I'm leaning towards Derek at this point only because that Josh Allen. Josh Allen has a lot on the line. Like if you can't produce now, you might as well just go and get traded to the Raiders. Like
you'd love that, wouldn't you?
Oh, I would. I'll take fucking Josh Allen, dude. I'll take Josh Allen with Raiders. But I mean, come on. It's like, all this do you see the Lions today? Now the Jets are the favorites. And everyone's freaking out. Like, what's wrong with the Bills? There's nothing wrong with the Bills. The Bills have a better quarterback. They have a better running back. And they have young receivers. I understand that. And they have a plug-and-play coach that says, you know what? He's like Dan Reeves. He's a defensive-minded coach. It's like, I'll pick the Bills by default. But you never know about the Jets. The Jets can finish 11-6, or they can finish 6-11. So it's good.
Yeah.
It could go either or. It's gonna go either or. They're either gonna finish 6-11 or 11-6, but I'm gonna still take the Bills to win the division.
Yeah, it's the safe pick.
It is.
Dude, it's because Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Josh Allen has the ability to carry a team. Like you cannot, like his talent level is off the chart. He's big, he runs, he can score with his feet, he can throw the ball.
Yeah.
Ultimately, though, you got to have some players around you. I do like Cook a lot. I think Cook is good.
Dude,
Keon Coleman, he's going to need to come around.
Beast in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And if you're going to protect Cook, you don't want him running a lot in the beginning of the season. Let Josh do his thing. You want Cook late because if he runs late, they're going to beat up teams.
Now, I'll preface this first. I'm not comparing them as they're the greatest, but the Bills offense is kind of like the Patriots here. A bunch of no-name receivers, some good running backs, and then 2 great tight ends.
Yeah. They do have good tight ends. That's
You think Dalton Connect is gonna, they're gonna utilize him. But it's the same point. Keon Coleman, I still think Keon Coleman is gonna be an X factor because all Josh Allen has to do is like, hey, there's a 6'4" dude. Let me just throw the ball to him. And his 40 time is unfair. Like, it was crap. But if you watch his tape, it's the stuff he can do is stupid.
And Curtis Samuel's pretty underrated.
Yeah. I mean, but ultimately, I'm more worried about their defense than their offense. Like they're gonna score points.
If their defense fails, then their coach will be fired next year.
Yeah.
Because that's the only reason he's there. Sean
McDermott.
I kept saying it. That's the only reason he's there. He's not there for offense. Because Josh Allen will handle the offense.
Right.
If he can't handle the defense, he's gone. That's all there's it.
Yeah, I mean you're aging at some of your good positions. You've lost a couple players.
But it's a plug and play defense.
Yeah, I mean that's the
you
thing.
Don't have
it's
a good scheme. If you can't handle it, you're gone.
Yeah. And that's my question mark. Where the reason I took the Jets is because their defense will carry them.
Well, yeah. That's
not if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt again.
He better not come out with a flag. Keep the flag at home, dude.
I mean, I'm not going to say
America. Can you imagine Tom Brady coming out with a flag?
No.
There's no way Tom would do that, dude. He doesn't have to do that.
Tom would come out with a flag and his face would be on it. His own face. He'd run out the field with a flag with his own face.
It would just be, what's his product's name? It would be like SB12, whatever his
yeah,
TB12
brand.
Yeah.
Is it
SB12 flag?
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, I mean, obviously if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, Jets season probably goes down the drain, but I think if he stays healthy, their defense is the best in that division by far. So I'm sticking with my pick of the Jets.
That's all right.
All right, let's move down to this is the hard one. This is the real hard one. The AFC North, right? So we got Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Wes, why don't you lead off?
What? I gotta lead off? Oh, jeez, Ed. Of course Baltimore's gonna win the division. They have to win the division.
You added Derrick Henry.
They actually have the best team. And fucking Joe. What's wrong with Joe Burrow? I do believe in optics. Everything's about optics. Like, what are you doing with your hair, dude? Like, what is your problem, dude? You don't have Jamar Chase. Like, they're gonna sign. I know they're gonna sign Jamar Chase.
He's gonna play week 1.
It's gonna happen.
They said it already. He's playing week 1.
You're kind of, a little shaky, dude, Joe. Like, what are you doing with your hair, dude? Like,
you got 2 number 1 wide receivers though, which is a huge advantage.
It doesn't matter. It's Baltimore. Baltimore is going to be the superior team in that division, and Cleveland's going to suck. And I'm taking Baltimore.
Baltimore is definitely the safe pick here. Yeah, I mean it's easy to pick Baltimore here, but I'm gonna throw y'all for a loop here because I'm taking the Browns.
Dude. The Browns, dude.
Taking the Browns.
Yeah.
Look at the season they had last year. No Nick Chubb, struggles, around the offense, but their defense is brutal. And in a division where all four teams are going to beat each other up back and forth all year, I want that solid defense. And I think that Deshaun Watson is going to have a better year. It's been a few years. He's had time to acclimate.
In about 10 minutes.
You don't get Chubb back though for the first 4 games, so that's a struggle.
At least.
Yeah. So Chubb won't come back for 4 games.
Who's your starting quarterback though?
Deshaun Watson.
Dude. Really?
I'm telling you, that defense is going to take him a long
he's
way.
going to be the comeback player of the year. Have you seen the odds on the comeback player of the year? Anthony Richardson is #1.
If Geno Smith can do it, Deshaun Watson can do it.
Yeah, dude. Boy, he comes back. He comes back in shape.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt Deshaun Watson's a good quarterback.
Nick Chubb is a badass, no doubt. Nick Chubb should not be playing for the Browns.
Is there a better defense in the league than the Browns?
Well, there's plenty of the Jets.
That are better than the Browns?
Well, we'll see.
Steelers?
No, I don't know.
Really? They picked up, didn't they get Patrick Queen now?
But here's the thing. Did they? Yeah, they did get Queen, dude. Queen, yeah, that's true.
But I'm still taking the best defense from last year, saying that they just got a little bit better. It's bold. I'm telling you, it's bold.
It's bold, man.
It's based on Deshaun Watson coming back and playing football.
Dude, he sucks, dude. He's so terrible.
Well, we'll remember this moment because it's on video.
Yeah, exactly. It's all. I was like,
the internet doesn't forget.
Deshaun Watson's gonna come after. He's like, I told you, Wes. You didn't believe in me, right?
So I'm taking the Browns.
No, not the Bengals and not the Ravens, but the Browns.
I'm taking the Browns.
All
right, Derek, what do you got?
Well, I'm boring.
Yeah,
what do you think I take
Baltimore.
every year?
Of course you're taking Baltimore.
They're the best regular season team in the NFL. I mean, all they do is win in the regular season.
Right.
Doesn't matter. I mean,
John Harbaugh did.
But
regular season coach right there.
The other one that's always consistent, and they're not going to win, but Steelers are going to still be over 500.
Well, no. Dude, have you seen their I know it's
odds.
Dude, odds say it doesn't matter. Think about this. They had a winning record with Pickett.
Yeah. I don't know, dude.
I mean, it's true. Like the odds say that Mike Tomlin's going to finish over 500 because he never has not.
Wow.
And their defense is really good.
Yeah. Yes, there is a good defense. The problem is they're playing in a tough division.
So are the Browns.
Right. Well, what was the Browns' record last year? What were the Browns' record last year?
No. What was it?
They were 11-6.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
In the playoffs, right?
Okay, so your Browns defense is so good.
I know.
Points against. Browns gave up 362 points. The Steelers gave up 324, and the Ravens gave up 280 points allowed.
Well, but that's just points. Like, what are the yards? Like,
Doesn't matter. Points is what matters for defenses. It's how many points you score.
I think the Browns were still the number one ranked defense, though.
Maybe yardage
Where
wise,
is
but
it?
that doesn't matter when it comes to
Well, they
wins.
did make the playoffs though,
Yeah,
and they got destroyed in the playoffs.
yeah.
Who knows?
Well, I'm still. You guys are going Baltimore. I'm going with the Browns. So we'll see.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. Because you know
Yeah.
why?
That's the thing is,
All you have to say is, Steve, is like, if you would have done this, then you would have. But if they don't do it, then you can say, you know what? Disclaimer: I told you to do it this way. If you would have done that, you would have won the division.
Well, here's the great thing: is if the Browns win, then I'm a genius. If they lose, everybody's like, "Oh, there's
If
the
the Browns win, you are a genius, dude.
if the Browns can score more points than every other team, it can win the
They'll
division.
win the game."
Well, and the thing is it really a surprise if any of the four
the
teams
worst
win?
bet. We should probably move to different because we're all gonna have bold picks here.
All right, well let's go to the AFC South. I probably
I don't think
imagine
there's any bold picks here.
we're more in line here. So Derek, why don't you lead off the AFC South?
Yeah, it's kind of boring. It's going to be the Texans. The division is better. I think the Colts will be better. The Jags will be better. Tennessee even might be better. But I still think you have unless they like have a huge sophomore slump, you got to go Texans.
Yeah. How can you not go Texans?
Yeah.
They got Mixon. They got Diggs. You know, they got Stroud. That's, Stroud. This whole idea of who's gonna have a sophomore slump, like, okay, like you have weapons. Like, no, I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah, when you add
Yeah,
really good running back in a top, I don't know, 15 receiver in Diggs.
Yeah.
Top 20 at worst, right?
not fair.
Arguably top 10.
Yeah, I mean you could argue for more, but I'm just saying I'm just playing it safe, right? Saying maybe, 20, 15. So when you add that to an already dangerous team and you CJ Stroud's got a lot of confidence going into this season. So
Yeah.
I think you give him a couple more weapons, and now you have a coach also who is confident, which is really helpful, right? So it's hard for your first season as a head coach. You did well. Your team played great. Now you got a little more confidence as a head coach too.
Yeah.
And then to piss Wes off even more is the fact that the Raiders had a trade in place for the number 2 overall pick to take Stroud, and Josh McDaniels vetoed that.
What?
Yeah, he should have been a Raider.
Why do you have to tell me that, dude?
So your hatred can flow of Josh McDaniels like mine does.
Yeah, bastard he is.
I don't.
So stupid. I didn't know that. Are you kidding me?
I think Jacksonville has a chance in this division, except they play such a tough schedule.
Hold your horses. Speaking of horses, I'm going to put a little stock in the Colts.
Okay.
I'll put a little bit of stock. Dude, Anthony Richard, you never know, man. Like, I like their team. Nobody's giving them a chance in hell. I'm still taking the Texans.
Right.
But it's like, you never know. Like,
well, Jonathan Taylor, that's a key, right? How well does he run the ball?
Yeah.
Richardson staying healthy.
Right.
He's got to stay healthy, but he's got to play under control. That's his
control.
Thing.
You must be controlled.
They actually, Pittman and Downs, it's two pretty good receivers. I'm really kind of surprised they let go of Treadwell.
No, they got Pierce, Pittman, and Downs.
Oh, they got a Donnie Mitchell too.
And they got a Donnie Mitchell, Anthony Gould.
Donnie Mitchell, that was a great pickup.
Yeah, that is a really good pick for them.
Yeah. But,
I think he'll be better than what's his name?
But here's the thing, guys. We don't want to be these guy. You know what I've watched the last 3 months? Like, everyone trying to predict the season. I'm like, I don't know. But what I do know is if you do things a certain way, then you'll have success. But we don't know what these teams are going to do. It's like, it's so stupid. Like the Jets. All I have to hear about the whole month is the Jets. I'm like, I hope the Jets go 6-11. I don't get beat up. I'm so sick of hearing about the Jets.
If they go 6-11, they're not going to win the division, Wes, and then I'll be wrong. And nobody wants that.
Colts here. Their defense is really good too.
Wow.
Colts defense is solid. They have a solid defense. That's for sure.
Yeah, they're solid.
I have questions in their secondary, though.
Yeah, they still got Kenny Moore.
Yeah, but I mean, their linebackers, their defensive
their D line is pretty solid.
And so, but I have questions their secondary, which then it causes what happened to them last year. They get in high-scoring games.
Yeah. But their defensive line now, I mean, you've got Pay and Latu
right
on the edge with DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart in the middle. That's a pretty stout defensive line.
Yeah. Should be.
Yeah, I still have questions on their defense, so I'm going to stick with the Texans for sure. But I think the Colts, I think the Jags, both of them, have solid teams. You look at the Jags, they're pretty solid top to bottom.
They just have to see if they can win big games.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a Trevor Lawrence thing for them because they're going to have a lot of tough games this season. And if he doesn't, come to play in those games, they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, here we go to your guys' division, AFC West. I'll lead it off so you guys can talk about your glory. I got Kansas City, of course, winning the division.
What?
I don't see how they can't. Yeah. They don't play a particularly tough schedule.
That's all set up on Taylor Swift's tour.
And they they added some good players and man, they didn't get any worse, that's for sure. And they're coming off a Super Bowl win. So I just don't see how you can't pick Kansas City to win this division. So
yeah, there's not a reason. I mean, the Broncos are still a few years away. I'm not sold on the Chargers ever until they actually show it.
Well, they got a new coach now. That's a start.
Yeah, that's a start.
Because their previous coach
because it was pretty nice having that other coach.
Yeah.
Dude.
And then we all know the Raiders need a quarterback. And I don't know. Minshew winning was pretty disheartening, not because of Minshew, just means that Aiden O'Connell is not very good. You know what I mean? Because if it was all equal, you would have thought O'Connell would start, right?
Because he's the younger, guy.
Yeah.
He's the draft pick. He's your future.
And the thing is, I feel like O'Connell would have been more steady because he was more accurate, but he is like a statue. And that's the thing. Minshew is going to raise the blood pressure a lot. Like in good and bad ways. You know what I mean? It's going to be like, oh, that was awesome, or oh my gosh, what was that?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Although I am happier with him than Garoppolo. So I mean,
That's not hard.
no. He is better than any of the quarterbacks they had on the roster last year, I guess. So that's something.
So you're going to KC.
Yeah, I still think the Raiders will be second in that division, but they won't be a playoff team. Spoiler alert. I think the Chargers will be middle of the road, and the Broncos will be better, I guess. But
All right, Wes, what do you got?
The Chiefs. All I gotta say about that division.
Yeah, there's just not much of a question, is there?
No, it's kind of sad.
Broncos, I think, are not there.
No.
Chargers are definitely not there.
No. And this idea that Harbaugh is just going to come in, like their team's not very good.
No.
And here's also their other problem is, like I saw like the top 10 picks about elite quarterbacks, and someone put Herbert in elite quarterback. You're not an elite quarterback. He's not. He's got an elite arm, but he's never done anything. And that's his problem. And everyone wants to talk him up like, oh, he's such a great quarterback. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's like, he's got a great arm.
Yeah.
So did Jay Cutler. And
right.
How'd that work out?
Cutler probably did better than Herbert.
Huh?
Cutler had more success than Herbert.
Well, he had a better arm. I mean, like said. Yeah. So,
do you know who Herbert is?
What?
He's Jake Plummer.
Oh.
That's brutal.
That's low. That's low, Derek.
I mean, come on, though. Jake Plummer had...
Jake Plummer. That's hard.
He had a strong arm. He was mobile.
No.
He had all the
Herbert has a lot stronger arm than Jake Plummer.
Yeah. I would.
Herbert's got a cannon.
He does. But, here's the problem. He misses important throws in big games. That's Herbert's problem.
He does. He exactly does.
You're running a wheel route and you overthrow your
How do you overthrow a wheel route
to win? That would change that whole game and change their season. So that happens a lot for him. All right, so my picks. So let's recap here. I have Jets in
Browns, dude.
I have
that's hardcore.
Let's go by division here. So I have Jets in the East, Browns in the North, Texans in the South, and Chargers not Chargers, Kansas City in the West. So the only difference here is
everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of difference actually. So you guys have the exact same picks?
Yeah.
That's not cool. So you guys have Bills?
No, we haven't got the NFC yet.
I know, but you guys have Bills,
Baltimore, Ravens,
Texans, and Chiefs. Okay, so before we go to the NFC, let's talk about the wild cards. Who wants to? Well, I'll lead off. So my first wild card is obviously Baltimore. because they could, obviously win the division too. So I got Baltimore as my first wild card, and then I got Miami as my second wild card, beating out the Bills for the wild card.
No way.
Spoiler alert, I do not have the Bills going to the playoffs.
No way.
So your division winner is not making the playoffs.
I'm not. You know what? The way the Bills are, I'm not saying that's a bad, because you never know, because the Bills could just flame out the way they play.
Well, you look at last season for them. Just think about it for a second. If they don't go on that crazy run,
Yeah.
they don't win the division, they don't make the playoffs. Like that was a pretty unbelievable
But
finish to the season.
what I'll say about the Dolphins is they're a gimmick team.
Yeah.
They're
But they have a lot of good players.
Well,
They
but
don't
again,
beat winning teams though.
but again, Tyreek played really well last year. This year, I guarantee you, they're gonna see everybody's A defense. They're not gonna allow that shit.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. We'll see how good Tyreek Hill is. If Tyreek Hill has 12 touchdowns this year, I'm be like, dude, this is one of the best players of all time.
Right. He's
because
on
they
his
are
way.
gonna load everything against Tyreek.
Well, you never know, dude. You got OBJ.
Whatever it is. Just let's stop right now. OBJ. It sounds like some sort of commercial on TV. You said OBJ?
Well, you guys gonna love this one. So my number 7 team in the playoffs is the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh.
Wow.
And here, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why, though.
Why?
Comparing the other potential wildcard teams, there's a lot of teams that can go 9-8. There's a lot of teams that can go 7-10, 10-7, in that range. When I broke down the Raiders' schedule game by game, they can go 9-8, 10-7, and steal that playoff position.
Yeah.
And here's what I'll tell you. All you need is the quarterback. Doesn't matter if it's Minshew or O'Connell to not commit turnovers. All you need him is to protect the ball, and your defense this year will be twice as good as it was last year because Antonio Pierce is a defensive guy. So they're going to play solid defense. Don't turn the ball over. You play a mildly easy schedule, and you sneak into the playoffs. So those are my 3 wild cards, and the Raiders come in at 7.
Oh, hope Steve's right about his, right? So now we're rooting for all of Steve's picks.
What do you got for your wild cards there?
I got Wes's favorite player in the entire world. I got the Bengals as my 5th seed. I got the Jets coming in as the 6th seed. And then I got the Dolphins sneaking in as the 7th seed.
Wow, you got 3.
3 from the East.
3 from the East. So Jets, Dolphins,
Bengals.
5? Bengals.
So
no Steelers, no Steelers, no Browns, no Dolphins, no Colts, no Jacksonville.
I had the Dolphins going the 7.
Oh, yeah, okay, because you got the 3.
Yeah.
That's I mean, when you look at the East, the problem is that they give each other a lot of losses because you have to play each other.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that the Bills are like the 1 seed, so
right.
They're all going to be pretty close to each other.
Yeah.
All right, Wes, what are your 3 wild cards here in the AFC?
Bengals, Dolphins, Colts.
Gonna go with those Colts, huh?
Hell yeah, dude.
Nice.
Anthony Richardson did.
The Colts, I gotta admit, the Colts were very close.
They are a sleeper. No
Yeah.
one's going to give them anything. But in the AFC, it's like when you think about it, it's like if you're anybody second in anybody's division, dude, I will not put any stock in the Jets. I think it's a fad. It's a total fad, dude. I think they're gonna go 6-11. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
They're either gonna go 6-11 or 11-6. Now, if they go 11-6, I'm wrong. But this whole talk, this whole hype, all this crap, dude. And I hate their helmets.
I hate their helmets.
They're so stupid, dude. It's like you look stupid. They look stupid on TV. They look stupid. Aaron Rodgers looks stupid. It makes for a good storyline, though. 6-11, but they could go 11-6. That's all I'm saying.
If it's scripted, it makes for a good story.
Stop, Steve. Don't even kill it. If it's scripted, Kansas City's gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because you got to have the three-peat, right?
It has. It's never happened, right, Steve?
Never happened.
It's gonna happen.
Well, you need the Travis Kelce proposing on the 50-yard line to Taylor Swift to end the whole.
Halftime in the Super Bowl.
This is the best news of the whole day. Travis Kelce's in the new. He's gonna be in Happy Gilmore too.
And I saw that. That was awesome.
Dude,
I actually saw a clip from him recording.
Yeah.
Sandler went on a podcast and shared a clip. It was pretty cool. It was funny, actually.
That's all I gotta say, dude.
Did you happen to see? Let's just pause for a second from it's still NFL, but did you happen to see they're just signed their podcast deal with Amazon?
Yeah,
Kelce Brothers.
Yeah, $100 million.
$100 million. For their podcast on Amazon.
That's how popular their podcast is.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of money.
You know what it is? They're like, oh, I can't wait till Taylor marries Travis Kelce, and then she's popping on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because Kylie's on them all the time, so.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Dang.
Yeah. I mean, it ain't Joe Rogan money, but it's money.
No. Let's distinguish between Rogan and everybody else.
Yeah, but it's great for them. I don't know if you guys watch their podcast. They're actually quite good. They're good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They're funny. Jason Kelce is hilarious.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of Travis, but
they're brothers and they dig on each other a lot. Right. So, and they both they have defecating humor against themselves. So that's.
But Jason Kelce is legitimately funny.
Yeah. They're both pretty damn funny.
Yeah. So
overall, I always give I stab Travis a little bit. It's like you guys are pretty good.
But he's killing it, so he can't. Okay, so we got Baltimore, Miami, and the Raiders. Those are my.
You're picking the Raiders.
I'm telling you, awesome. Those are my.
You picked the Raiders.
Those are my wild cards. So, Derek, you had
Bengals, Jets, Dolphins.
Bengals, Jets, Dolphins.
No,
Wes has got Bengals, Dolphins, Colts.
Yeah. Fuck the Jets. Fuck the Jets. I want to hear one more word about the Jets.
Who's the number one seed in the AFC?
The Texans.
Texans.
Yeah, I got the Texans also.
Texans?
Yeah.
I got the Browns.
All right. I'm waiting.
No, I'm actually joking, but it's going to make Wes even more mad because I have the Jets.
Did you actually pick the Browns, dude?
No, it's going to make you even more mad because I actually have the Jets as the number one seed.
Oh, you didn't pick the Jets. Dude.
Yeah, Jets are number one seed.
But here's the thing: you never know. Like I said, they could go 6-11, or they can go 11-6.
You're fixated on this 11-6. They could go 12-5.
Yeah.
Can we at least agree that the Patriots will be the worst in the AFC?
No, we
in the
have
AFC?
They will be the worst team in the AFC.
Ooh, I don't know if I agree with that. I think, yeah, no, you're right. They will. I mean, I'm not
Well,
not a big fan of the Broncos and the Chargers right now.
oh, you're saying that they'll be worse than the Patriots?
Tennessee is going to have a tough season.
Yeah, but you seen Tennessee's receivers?
You got to have somebody throwing the ball, dude, and Will Levis is not that guy.
Will Levis has a strong arm.
Dude, Will Levis. Have you seen that commercial with Will Levis with the fucking
the mayonnaise
commercial? That dude, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'll agree. Patriots for sure.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, let's jump over to the NFC. So NFC picks for conference winners. Start with the NFC East. Wes, why don't you lead us off? Your favorite division?
You're talking about NFC East?
NFC East.
Jeez. I'm going with the Eagles by default. I really want to take the Commanders. Dude, I think Jay Daniels is going to freaking tear it up. But the Eagles are just too good.
Right.
Top to bottom. I mean, if I'm hurt, like, did you hear about the anonymous source that was saying how bad Hurts is under pressure? Same thing with Lamar Jackson. They can't throw the ball.
Right.
It's like, well, I could throw the ball if I'm throwing the ball to Saquon Barkley or all my weapons. Like, dude, me and you, I mean, you could be an all-pro quarterback. Here, let me throw the ball to Saquon Barkley or Dotson or all these guys. It's like the Eagles are going to win the division.
The Eagles have a lot of talent.
Yeah.
A lot.
On both sides of the ball.
And then I can't believe that the Commanders would trade Dotson to them.
They should. Well, but did you hear about the Steelers? Like, everyone's like, the Steelers are going to get him. It's like, no, here's the most bizarre thing. Like, Jerry Jones said today that he's the best living GM today. And it's so hideous because he's not even the best GM in his own division.
Right.
Is that funny?
Yeah.
You know?
It's like Howie Roseman is a freaking mad scientist.
Huh?
Howie Roseman, it's like, what? He's like, oh, I'm going to trade for this guy and only give up a 4th or 5th rounder.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing with the Eagles is their defense is solid. They're young and they just get a year older.
It's like Georgia's defense.
Yeah, it's a good thing for them to get a year older. You know, what with most teams, when people get older, you know, you worry about that. But for them to get a year older on defense was great. So it's hard not to pick the Eagles.
Only hope for the Cowboys. I'm going to throw them a bone here because they suck. I mean, they just do. But did you guys watch Deuce Vaughn play?
Yeah, he's solid.
Dude, I'm playing him at least 20 snaps a game.
Yeah.
Because he could actually change that team's. Like, if they're Ezekiel Elliott, are you kidding me? Like,
no.
What is this? 2015? Like, but Deuce Vaughn, you watch him run the ball. I'm like, dude, that dude can run the ball.
Yeah. He's solid.
He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. And for a timid man like Dak Prescott, like, here, I don't know what to do. I'll just start to this Deuce Vaughn guy.
The reality is the Cowboys aren't going to be bad.
No, they can't be bad.
They have too many good players. The NFC's not super strong.
Remember, Jerry Jones is the best GM of all time, right?
Maybe he should
But they
sign
do have good
Dalvin
players.
Cook.
Derek, don't even say it, Derek. Don't even say it.
So
Oh.
I agree. I don't see how the Eagles can't win this division unless they have some kind of coaching meltdown. They have too many good players. I think adding Dotson was huge for them because now you've got Saquon out of the backfield. You've got 3 receivers you got to guard, and you've got Goddard at tight end. So,
but honestly, wouldn't it be badass if the Commanders won?
I mean,
Dude, it would be so funny.
The Commanders for me are a couple years away.
Gonna be good.
Yeah, he's gonna be great, but the Commanders are a couple years away.
Yeah.
So I have to go with
you have to the
Eagles here as well.
I'm just gonna read these names off here. Brandon Graham, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., N'Kobe Dean, Nolan Smith Jr., Eli Ricks, James Bradbury, Avonte Maddox, Keely Ringo, and Cooper DeJean. Those are all pretty good players, right?
Yeah.
That's the backups.
Right.
That's their backups on defense.
Yeah. Their defense is so deep.
It's stacked.
So, yeah, I got to go with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of question there. I would love to see the Commanders do well. I could care less what the Giants do. I hate the Giants.
The Giants are terrible.
And they're not good either. That's the problem.
I'm telling you, Daniel Jones, comeback player of the year.
Comeback player of the year is Daniel Jones. What's he going to throw the ball to himself?
They got
neighbors.
Neighbors now.
Right. So Neighbors is going to draw all the coverage.
I think didn't they pick up some other guys? Come on.
Well, they have that guy they drafted from Tennessee. Is that where he came from?
Was it Jalen Hyatt?
Yeah, Hyatt.
Yeah, I mean,
so he's pretty solid. And Singletary is a good pickup too. I actually really like him as a running back.
I like Singletary. Singletary is good.
Isaiah McKenzie, not horrible either. I mean, he's a good route runner, so he's gonna catch the ball. And they got Chase Cota. Come on, Oregon. The Giants for me I don't know. Maybe Dayball will have them playing better this year, but they look so bad last year.
Yeah.
It's hard to think that they're gonna come back up this year.
Well, they improved their offensive line. They added Neighbors. They got Hyatt. They still have Darius Slayton. Am I saying they're a playoff team? No, but I don't think they're like horrible.
They're not as bad as the Panthers.
Yeah, definitely not that bad. I think also that I think the problem is like if Daniel Jones was on a different team, they would be like a totally different thing about him.
Like the Raiders?
Raiders or the Jaguars or
you guys would take Daniel Jones in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, I would.
Dude.
Yeah.
You can't tell me you wouldn't. I mean, I would.
It's kind of true.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's jump over NFC North here. Derek, why don't you lead off?
I'm going with the Lions. I think they got better, and I just I love Dan Campbell, and I think after them getting that taste and basically choking away the chance for the Super Bowl, I think they're going to be a lot more motivated. Everyone's talking about the Packers and the Bears, but it's still the Lions division.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Dan Campbell, dude, I mean, he's put this team together I mean, yeah, you can talk GM, you talk trades, talk all this stuff, but he put them and made them play together as a team.
Yeah.
And that's what sets average teams versus great teams, right?
Right.
That's what
And then
sets them
their
apart.
OC and DC didn't want to leave.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you got, Wes, but I got the same. I mean, I don't see.
I got the same too, even though the Packers are going to be good, unless Jordan Love really has a slump. You never know. He could. It doesn't really matter because I think the Lions at least are going to be motivated enough to win that division.
Right.
They're probably pretty. Dude, I can't even believe they lost that game. Like, there's no way they should have lost the game. It's just stupid.
Well, I don't think the Lions on a roster basis are any more talented than the Packers or the Bears.
Boy,
But I think they're
the Bears.
They're experienced now, right? The Lions are experienced. They've now experienced a playoff loss. They've experienced what it's like to be there right at the cusp.
The Packers are talented, but at the same point, I'm going to at default. If we're talking about winning, we're not even talking about going deep in the playoffs because you never know what the Packers can do because of Jordan Love. If I'm going to take Jordan Love, or anybody, I might take Jordan Love at this point. But what Jordan Love did in the San Francisco game, it bothers me so much. It's like he gave up. He threw 2 interceptions. Like, oh, it's not a big deal. Hey, you could have beat this team.
Yeah.
You could have beat the effing Niners, dude. You had them on the ropes, and you just throw the ball away. It's like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's like, really? Oh, of course he gets a brand new contract, right?
There's the sample size for him though is so small.
It is small.
And when you
think one playoff win
right.
and one playoff loss.
His season, if you look at the way his season went, he had a horrible first half and then he had a great second half.
But again, football is all about watching. Like, you see the talent he has. I mean, the stuff he's doing, I was like, he does have talent. But as far as the season, I'm going to take the Lions because I think overall they're established. They're going to do what's necessary, and they're going to be the better team by this much. Not much.
I mean, we're all in agreement there. I think we all taken the Lions.
Let's talk about the NFC.
This is the second hardest, I think, division to pick.
They did.
Because the AFC North was the first, but this one for me was also really hard.
They all suck.
So, what do you got, Wes?
For what? NFC South?
NFC South.
Well, I'm taking the Falcons by default. They'll finish 7-10. Like, dude.
7-10.
Dude, have you seen, everyone's like, oh, the Falcons can make a Super Bowl run? Are you kidding me?
Come on.
With Kirk Cousins? Like, really?
Dude, the Falcons,
Super Bowl run?
Look, the Falcons
7-10
could go 0-3 to start the season. They played Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Kansas City to start the season.
Yeah.
They could be 0-3.
I will give. I mean, Tampa, you never know. But see, any of those teams, even New Orleans, if Derek Carr actually does anything, I'm so sick of Derek Carr. I'm such a great quarterback. Well, prove it. Go out there. You should. If I'm Derek Carr, I'm like, I should win the division. Why not? It's not like New Orleans sucks. The problem is they don't have anybody that you don't have any leaders, man. I wouldn't be surprised if New Orleans won the division by default. Any of those teams can win by default.
I don't trust New Orleans with Derek Carr.
Well, nobody does. I'm just saying he could shock us all.
But you trust Baker Mayfield and Kirk Cousins?
No, I don't either.
That's
That's the
sad.
problem. That's why this is the hardest division to choose,
It is.
because you might as well flip a coin and figure out who's gonna decide to play.
Yeah.
But when I look at a talent level, I have to take Atlanta as well. They just have, to me, they have more talent than the other teams.
If Bijan Robinson doesn't have a breakout year, there's something wrong. Like, there is seriously something wrong. Like, how can you not?
Well, I'm going Falcons here as well.
All right, what's the record? 7-10?
I mean, I'm looking at it, dude, and it's pretty close.
8-9?
Yeah, we'll give them 8 and 9.
If
What do you
anybody,
got, Derek?
Derek, if you pick Carolina, I'm going to ALNA right now. I'm gonna put. I guarantee you it's plus 2,300.
Yeah, well, I'm not taking Carolina because their owner is a big time D-bag. I'm gonna take the Saints.
Wow.
Oh,
After all the trash we just talked about the Saints, he's like, I'm taking the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, last year in the last 6 games, they went 4-2. Their only losses were to the Rams and the Lions. They lost to the Lions by 5 and the Rams by 8. Beat the Bucks by 10 and the Falcons by 31.
Yeah.
So they underachieved completely last year, and then they started to turn it on at the end of the year. So another year under it, I'm going to take the Saints.
Looking at their schedule, like I could see them at 9 and 8,
That's all you need.
which is probably good enough to win that division. But that's granted that they win the Atlanta games, right? So really what it comes down to, I think, in that division is when New Orleans plays Atlanta twice, how does that end up?
I'm not sold on. Is it Raheem Morris? Is that the new
Yeah,
coach?
Raheem Morris, right. Well,
I'm
and
not
he's a
sold on
rookie coach, so you don't know yet.
Huh?
He's a rookie coach.
No. Coach the Buccaneers.
No, but this is his for Atlanta. This is his
I know,
first
but
year.
he's a retread.
Yeah.
He wasn't that good with the Bucks either, so
dude, there's no way we're fighting about the NFC South.
I'm not really fighting. I just don't. You brought in Raheem Morris, who's a defensive coach for a team that needs an offensive coach.
Yeah.
That's not. I want to. You know what? I want to pick the Saints too. Don't trust me. Like, if I had to pick Derek Carr versus Kirk Cousins, I'll pick Derek Carr. But Derek Carr has to figure some stuff out. Like, do I just want to be that guy, or do I want to do something?
Hey, it might be Michael Penix by the end of the year.
It might be Spencer Rattler.
for the Saints, right?
No, it will not be Spencer. Dude, I watched Spencer Rattler. I'm like, are you kidding me? It was almost bad as Trey Lance. Like, did you see Trey Lance throw 5 interceptions?
Yeah. How great.
Pre-season. I saw him throw the first one. He threw an interception on a 10-yard out. I'm like, how do you do that?
How great would it be if the Saints and Atlanta had their rookies starting by the end of the year?
Oh, no, there's no way the Saints.
Well, I told you last week.
No
then
way.
we'll have Kyle Trask starting for the Bucks.
Right.
No.
And then you'll have
Derek Carr won't do that bad. Kirk Cousins might.
All right, so Derek's going Saints. We're going Falcons. I guess, the last division here, I don't know,
NFC West.
yeah, how much of a question the West is, but I mean, I got the 49ers.
No, there's multiple people I've been watching. They're picking the Rams.
I think the Rams are good. I like the Rams. So
Yeah.
don't get me wrong.
But I'm not gonna jump on that
Yeah.
bandwagon so much.
I'm taking the Niners,
remember I
but
said
if
a
they
couple
don't
weeks
have
ago,
Ayuk or Williams, they're not winning a Super Bowl.
Right.
I swear they're all listening to our podcast because now everyone's picking the Rams. I'm not gonna pick the fucking Rams. I'm picking the Niners still. Yeah. Because the Niners.
Yeah, I agree. They need Williams. They need Ayuk. They need them both playing.
Did you hear what happened today at practice? Freaking Purdy threw like 3 interceptions and they blamed it. Oh, Ayuk's not here. Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't help them though that, you draft your rookie isn't healthy, and Ayuk is holding out, or you haven't signed a deal with him. It's not really holding out, but you don't have a deal with him going, so that's tough.
Maybe their coach should know the rules on their coin tosses.
I think losing
a lot different result in their situation.
Yeah.
You think about it.
Losing Mitchell is actually kind of big because CMC does not have the most untarnished record, right? Of not
What do you
getting
mean?
hurt.
What happened to Mitchell?
He's out for the season.
He's IR season.
Oh shit! He's one of my dynasty team. I gotta figure that out. Dude, what? That sucks. What happened?
Here, I will tell you though, the steal of the draft, and everyone will see this by the end of the season, is Jacob Cowing. By the end of the season, he's going to have 40 catches, close to 1,000 yards.
Well, right now he's a third stringer, so hopefully he gets.
I'm telling you, watch. That's the steal.
I got him on my dynasty league on my rookie taxi squad, so
yeah.
But that's who you're going to look for, Wes. You need to pick up Jordan Mason.
Who?
He's like, who?
Well, he's the backup now to McCaffrey.
Right, because McCaffrey's going to get hurt, and then
well, especially since I drafted him number 1 in one of my leagues, because the rule of thumb is if you have the number 1 pick, they get hurt.
Right. Yeah, every time. Every time. All right, so we all got the Niners. Let's now wrap up with our wild cards. So, Derek, why don't you lead us off here? So, wait, before we go on that, so division winners: Eagles, Lions, Falcons, 49ers. And the only difference was Derek said the Saints instead of the Falcons. Otherwise, we all had it the same.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so lead us off with your wild cards.
I got 5 the Rams, 6 the Packers, and 7 the Bears.
3 out of the Central, huh? Or the North?
Yep.
Is it now?
I think the Cowboys are taking a step back. And then I think everyone in the South sucks, so they're not going to get more than 1 team.
You're going to say that about the best living GM in NFL history?
Remember, he's all in, and then they spent $12 million.
He's all in, yeah. That's all I could say, like a Chucky doll. I'm all in, like, yeah.
Knock on wood if you're with me.
Yeah. It's solid though, right? Because it's hard not to look at the Packers, the solid team, and the Bears just have so much talent.
Yeah.
And so you gotta wonder what.
Yeah, I feel like
they say the Bears have a pretty schedule going week 1 through 8.
Oh yeah, I mean Looking at the Bears' schedule, they could be 7-2 to start the season.
Yeah, they could.
So that's kind of tough. So Wes, what do you got as your wild cards?
The Rams, the Packers, and the Commanders.
He's
The
going Commanders,
dude.
He's all in on these Commanders, dude.
Going all in.
I mean, they just got rid of Johan Dotson, though.
Huh?
They got rid of Dotson.
Errors. They don't need Dotson. They had Jane Daniels. He's like RG3. He won't get hurt.
He's RG4.
He's RG4, yeah.
All right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with putting the Commanders in there, I don't think.
Yeah, screw the Cowboys, dude. The Cowboys, someone told me if this was soccer, the Cowboys would be relegated to a different league. They wouldn't be able to play in the it's so pathetic. Like the stuff Jerry Jones said today, I was like, dude, are you delusional? Like, why would you even talk? Like, I'm the greatest living GM ever.
It's Jerry Jones, though. Come on.
You're not even the best GM in your division.
He's always going to talk like that.
It's like
I got
coming out like I'm the greatest GM ever. It's like, maybe.
Here you go. I got the Rams at 5, and Wes is not going to like this. I got the Cowboys at 6 because they're gonna make the playoffs. They have to make the playoffs so they can lose.
The only reason they'll make it is Deuce Vaughn did.
And at 7, I'm leaving the Packers off.
What?
They're not making the playoffs. And the Bears are taking number 7.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm calling. So I got Rams, Cowboys, Bears pulling up the wild cards.
Let's take America's poll.
Yeah. Let's see what America thinks.
If you're listening, let's take a poll.
Well, now here we got our playoff teams. Let's hear it. Like, what's the Super Bowl prediction?
We can't do that this week. We have to do that next week. Are we gonna do Super Bowl predictions?
We're doing Super Bowl prediction tonight.
Oh, jeez, that was hard. Derek goes first.
Okay, it's Redemption Tour Part 2. Ravens.
Oh, jeez.
Because now they have a running back.
Yeah.
That will run. They'll freaking run the ball in the playoffs.
You think they will?
Against the Lions.
Okay. That's it. That's solid. Very doable. I can get behind that. And then who wins?
The Lions.
The Lions win the Super Bowl. He's all in on Dan Campbell.
You have to. You have to pick the Lions up.
Well, you guys are going to love this one.
Please.
Super Bowl, 49ers, and the Browns.
Dude, you're high. You're so high.
49ers win the Super Bowl, beat the Browns in a defensive battle. But I'm telling you, go out there, put your money right now on the Browns to make the Super Bowl.
I'd rather put my money on the Browns to beat the Niners than the other way around, because Kyle Shanahan will just do something stupid in the Super Bowl once again.
Wow. Yeah, he will. I mean, we've already expressed how he screwed up so bad.
Yeah, I mean, he
Niners
obviously
are the
did.
Browns?
This is his redemption, though. He's going to come back. They're going to win it.
Oh, jeez.
All right, Wes. What do you got?
So what did Derek pick?
Ravens, Lions.
Yeah. Baltimore and the Lions. with the Lions winning.
Do I have to remind everybody what's going on here? I gotta pick the Chiefs and the Packers. And the Chiefs are gonna win.
You really giving the Chiefs the three-peat?
Yeah, it's fixed.
It's fixed. The fix is in.
Of course, dude. Have you listened all off season?
Yeah.
Can they do it? Can they do it? It's like, of course, because it's a weak league. Like, remember when Joe Montana sat there in the NFC Championship game against the New York Giants? They had the three-peat, right? Until Leonard Marshall hit Joe Montana so hard. I was like, I watched this game.
That was brutal.
I was like, Joe Montana is dead.
He died. It kind of looked like it, to be honest with you.
He put him in the ground.
Yeah.
Think anybody's gonna do that to Patrick Mahomes? No, you can't touch Patrick Mahomes, right? He's the face because you can't touch him because of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, right?
Well, let's be honest. Mahomes was already getting those calls before Taylor entered the.
Well,
I don't know that.
You know, in their 3 Super Bowl wins, 0 holding calls have been called against them.
Exactly. Like he's already been there.
Is anybody in the AFC? Because I love Josh Allen.
That's tough, dude.
It's not fair to Josh Allen, but this is what everybody wants. All we've heard about, three-peat. It's like, who gives a crap? So what? They win 300. Oh, he's better than Tom Brady. Really?
That's what
did he
ultimately.
Play in the same league as Tom Brady ever did? It's a patty cake league. It's a patty cake league. That's all there's to it. It's not the same league.
It's tough though, because the thing is Kansas City is as good as any team in the AFC. So there's nothing to stop them from going to the Super Bowl.
No.
Except the Browns.
Dude. You're gonna fall. You're gonna die on the hill for the Browns.
I am, dude.
I guarantee you just hit our viewership. Like, you hit our peak. It's like, who's this dude that picks the Browns?
I'm sending this to Cleveland direct.
Who's your quarterback? Is it Deshaun Watson?
Of course. It's got to be Deshaun Watson.
Oh, jeez, man.
Not Jameis?
He's a good backup.
I'll take if you're rolling Jameis Winston, I'll take Jameis Winston. But Deshaun Watson, are you kidding me?
Well, you know what? We'll see what happens. But I'm telling you, go put your life savings on the Browns.
What do you know? You know something, dude.
I know something. I'm telling you, I do.
You've been doing some research on the internet, haven't you?
I know something. So.
Oh, jeez.
All right, let's give one last breakdown. Here. What's up?
I'm gonna check the odds.
Let's give one last breakdown. I'll go first. AFC, I have the Jets, the Browns, the Texans, and KC winning their divisions. Baltimore, Miami, and the Raiders as the wild cards. In the NFC, I got the Eagles, the Lions, the Falcons, and the 49ers winning their divisions. And then the Rams, the Cowboys, and the Bears in the wild card. Super Bowl, Browns, 49ers. 49ers win.
You said the Browns? What? Oh, the 49ers win.
The 49ers win.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
So that's my breakdown for my playoffs. Since Wes is gone again, Derek, break down yours.
All right, so we got the Bills winning the East. I got the Texans winning the South. Ravens winning the North, and the Chiefs winning the West. Bengals, Jets, and Dolphins as the wild card. And I've got the Ravens making the Super Bowl. With NFC, I got the Eagles, Lions, Saints, and Niners winning their divisions, with the Rams, Packers, Bears making the playoffs, with the Lions going to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl.
Nice.
Derek has the best proposal.
All right, break yours down, Wes. What do you got?
I guess I got the Dolphins and the Bengals, and I got the Colts as wild cards. In the NFC, I have the Packers and the Rams and the Commanders.
The
Go Chase
Commanders.
Daniels. And I have why did I pick the Chiefs? Chiefs and the Packers. Super Bowl. Chiefs are gonna win. Hate it.
You got the Chiefs going 3-peat.
Dude,
All
I
right.
swear, Derek, I hope yours is true. Because dude, I even like, you know what I like about the Lions? They got the new, they got the old uniforms.
Yeah, but then we have to see
I like the
Eminem,
old
dude.
uniforms. I'm like, they have to win.
Like you get tired of seeing Taylor Swift, dude. If the Lions are there, you're gonna see Eminem like a million times.
Which is fine with me.
You know what?
Yeah, until he went woke.
What?
Dude, it doesn't matter. Travis Kelce is going to be in Happy Gilmore too.
Yeah.
All that matters. Dude.
Well, here's what's disappointing me is like, Wes, you didn't even pick the Bears.
Oh, I'm like, pick the Bears.
And I'm the only one that picked the Raiders.
Yeah.
Well, the Bears will have their season. Everyone's putting too much stock on the Bears. It's not, you know what? It's not even fair to Caleb. Is he gonna throw for? He better throw for 4,000 yards this year.
Well, when they go 19-0, we'll see.
Oh Jesus! Dude, stop. What? All of a sudden you have all this faith in Caleb Williams, right? Like you didn't even have faith. You didn't want him to trade for him. You wanted Justin Fields.
They'd be great with Justin Fields if they could have used that number one pick for someone else.
And we see how good Justin Fields is.
Yeah,
so you trust me, you're gonna be much happy with Caleb.
Yeah.
But if you put $1,000 down on the Browns to make the Super Bowl,
how much do I get?
41,000.
Nice. I'm in.
Dude, $1,000 is a lot of money still.
Well, if I put 100, I'll get 4,100.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, America right now is like, dude, maybe this dude knows something.
I know something.
He knows something. He is not telling us.
You see, and then even just $10 gets you $410.
Right. $10, dude.
Everyone thought Detroit was gonna be the team that never been to a Super Bowl. Now it's the Browns.
The Browns.
Right? Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
now Wes put the Colts in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
$20 gets you $1,500.
Oh, we're gonna do this again.
Yeah, but the Colts aren't making the Super Bowl.
No. I like Anthony Richardson. I don't like him that much.
What kind of odds I get on the Bears?
Yeah. Although if you bet $1,000 on Anthony Richardson, you get 76,000.
There is
the Bears.
Give me some Bears odds because I'm down for that.
They're worse odds than or better odds than the Browns.
Really?
Yeah, they're only plus 3,500, where the Browns are plus 4,000.
Right. All right.
Now, Wes, if we go full fandom, see. $1,000 will get us
65,000.
$101,000.
Look at that, dude. If you put 10 grand, you'll be a millionaire.
Yeah, $100 bet on the Raiders gets you $10,000 if they won.
To win the Super Bowl?
No, to make it.
Just to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's a good bet. That's a good bet. Because they're going to be in the playoffs.
$10,000 wins you $1 million, Wes.
I've already told you, dude, they're going to be in the playoffs. And once you're in the playoffs, who knows? Who knows what can happen?
You know what's funny? Okay, so we were talking about the worst teams in the NFL, right? Odds-wise, you know who they have as the worst team, the worst odds to make the Super Bowl?
Carolina.
Nope.
New England.
Nope.
What? Who?
The Giants.
Nope. It's the Broncos.
Wow. Well, that makes sense.
No, it does not at all.
They'd have not much offense, a rookie quarterback, a handful of good defensive players now. Because they got rid of Simmons, they got rid of Chubb. Like all they really have is Surtain.
$10,000 gets you $3 million.
Dude, I'm in.
But yeah, let me check my bank account. Like 10 grand, like no way.
Just to make the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
It's not a horrible bet, dude. Because that means $10 gets me 30 grand. No, 3 grand.
Yeah.
That's a good bet. $10 get 3 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that part's all right.
Well, I know everybody's a little surprised by my picks, but
dude, I guarantee you, America's like, dude, this dude's picking the Browns to make the Super Bowl. And he has inside information that he won't tell us.
It is. The aliens came and told me.
The Illuminati.
Yep. They let me in on the secret.
Oh,
all right. Well, we'll wrap it up there. Next week we'll get into
dude, I'm done.
Start of the season. Talking about the first week's games. We'll give our picks for week 1 next week, so people can come in and we'll give our picks. Last year we had a pretty good, not a horrible season, not as good as the season before, but our percentage was what, 60, almost 65%. So
yeah,
I felt like
better than the Bleacher Report guys.
Year. I felt like we had a horrible year, and we still were over like 65. Yeah. So that's pretty good. All right, we'll wrap it up. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you're watching on YouTube. Comment. Appreciate all of the Spotify users, and we will see you guys next time.